Hi there, it's Dallas here from Influential. In this video, we'll talk about creating a high value brand. So crafting your brand value architecture to maximize the results that you can achieve with your brand. So in the previous video, we talked about how some brands have high value and others have low value. And obviously we want to build a high value brand. Now, to dig into this, let's have a look at what do we mean by value. And this is a concept I find really powerful, that the way we deliver a product or service, the value we're delivering, has three components, and it's derived from three things. Your brand has aspects about what it is, that's its characteristics, what it does, that's what it gives the customer, the results it achieves, and what it means, and that's the deeper impact on your customer or their lives. And this concept of the is, does, means value pyramid comes from a book called Conversations That Win the Complex Sale by Tim Reisterer and Eric Peterson. It's a fantastic book, and I'll be pulling a few other ideas from there. Well worth a read of the original material to get deeper insight into what this means. They call it the message pyramid because they're very concerned with messaging architecture. But to me, this is really about where the value in your brand is derived from. We can think of the value pyramid, the three components, as the is the features. It's the things that comprise your product. This might be color, price, size, the parts that are in it, the ingredients if it's a shopping list. If you run a course, then the is workshops and training programs and notes. It's the stuff that comprises the product in a physical or tangible sense. The does is the benefits or the results that your product or service delivers. So this is really what people tend to care most about. And if you've heard marketing advice, you've probably heard the expression, sell benefits, not features. Customers care about the benefits. They really don't care about the characteristics or details of your product. They just care about what it's going to give them. So we focus on benefits. That's really where, standard marketing theory says we should be putting our attention when we're marketing our product. But the third level, the means, is the meaning or the impact and what the product or service actually changes in the person's life or their perception or lets them do that they couldn't do before. And I'll suggest to you that this is actually where the best brands, the most valuable brands, this is where they're delivering most of their value. You can only get so far in the benefits category. It's great to deliver really strong benefits, and you absolutely should try to achieve that. But if you only get that far, you don't really break out of the realm of the everyday brand and into the awesome brand category. And I'll give you some examples here, but we do go through this in more detail when we talk about what is brand value in another video. So you may have already watched that, and you can really see how different brands work there. So another way to look at the is, does, means thing is that the is the what of your brand, the does is the how you help people, and the means is the why. So if you've seen the Simon Sinek talk, and I'll put a link in the course to the Simon Sinek video, start with why. He suggests that great brands start with why. And in fact, if you want to achieve anything, you should begin with a why. If people understand what your purpose is, what you're trying to achieve, then the other things fall into place below. And it's the same with our brands. The more we can market to people, the more we can express what we're doing and connect with them on that level of why or meaning, the greater the value, the greater the impact in our customers' lives, and the more value your brand has. Now, high value brands and premium brands, think of luxury clothing or luxury product manufacturers or high-end cars or Rolex watches. They deliver most of their value in the meaning, because what their product is comprised of is is generally very similar to what the lower value products in their category are comprised of. A car is a car is a car. They're definitely different. They're definitely better, but just building a better car isn't enough to create a premium or luxury or high value brand. You need to be able to deliver more. And the first step is to deliver more in benefits. You know, if you build a better car that goes faster, or that lets people get somewhere on time, or can fit more people in, then that's great. But at a certain point in any given market, then the benefits get saturated as well. Most of the products in the category deliver comparably on the benefits, or and just adding more benefits won't add more value beyond a certain point. Once our minimum need for benefits is reached, then adding more doesn't necessarily help us that much. But where we can add a lot more value is in the meaning. So if you think of the luxury car, people buy luxury cars because it says something about them. So they can demonstrate to others how successful or wealthy they are, or they can show themselves, look, you've done a great job with getting this big job promotion, you deserve this car. So the meaning is above and beyond the tangible benefits that it delivers, and people will spend $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 extra on a vehicle that offers no extra benefits in terms of getting around town, storage capacity, safety. There may be a few extra benefits that are there, or features, and they say, oh, look, this product has this feature or this benefit, therefore I need it. But really it's the meaning that's sucking them in. They want that meaning that says, yeah, look, you're a wealthy, successful person, you're driving a high-end car. So the best brands deliver most of their value through meaning. And I'll have another video where I give a lot more examples of how different products deliver value through meaning. But for now, let's move forward and talk about low value products, because obviously where we've got high value products, we've got to have low value products as well. And low value products deliver most of their value through features, and they're commodities. So if you want to buy a ton of steel, then you care about the features. It needs to weigh a ton. It needs to be of a specific grade of steel. You care about when you can get it. You care about the pricing terms, things like that. So do you see how the characteristics, they're very much about number, size, time. It's very quantitative. It's very objective. And yet the benefits of one ton of steel to the next are pretty much identical. And it's only when you make it something other than a ton of steel and into something that's more differentiated that you can start to build up specific benefits and meaning there. Another example looking at metals is if we look at gold. Gold is a commodity. We can buy and sell gold, but if the gold is turned into something like a piece of jewelry, then it might have benefits in terms of being wearable and being attractive or attracting attention. But really, a lot of the value starts to enter in the realm of meaning, where the right piece of jewelry can tell someone that you love them, or a specific coin, because it's rare, might be a collectible, but only because it's rare. The rareness is the meaning. It's about the scarcity. So again, we see that the valuable products deliver their value through meaning. Otherwise, they've all things have some base level value associated with what they are, but that's the commodity value only. And that we obviously want to get out of having a commodity product or service, or having a commodity brand, because otherwise we've got very low profit margins. We're competing with lots of other people who are the same. So when we think about how we deliver value, as well as these sort of three levels of value, I want to introduce this concept that you need to deliver the value that your customers want. Value is very much in the eye of the beholder, in the eye of the customer. And so our customers really don't care much about features. That's the is. So on the level of features, you as a provider need to know the details of your product. You need to understand them, and customers might need to know a little bit about that to buy them, but they really don't care. What they care about is the benefits that they can get from it, the results that it offers. So the customers want results, and the providers deliver results. So just going back here, on the level of features, customers don't really care that much about the features, but you do. You need to. It's your business, so you need to be able to deliver a quality product. The specifications have to be correct. It needs to do the job in order to deliver the benefit. So really, the features are very concerning to the provider, but not really concerning to the customer, except insofar as they deliver benefits. On the level of benefits, the customer and the provider have reciprocal interests. The customer wants the benefit, and the provider can deliver the benefit and wants payment in exchange. So they're in a transactional relationship where they've got mutual or complementary interests. Whereas on the functional level, on the features, the customer really only cares about the features incidentally on the way to getting the benefits. But what's interesting is that on the meaning level, on the means or the why, your customers and you as the provider actually often have shared interests. You can share the value of that meaning. If the meaning of your product is about, for example, with a luxury vehicle or watch, it's about prestige, then your company needs to care about prestige too. You can't just be manufacturing prestige cars and have a very different attitude. It has to be sort of in the real being of your company's DNA. So the company, your business partners, other people, your promotional campaigns, your marketing, and your customers' concerns all need to align around the meaning. And that's another reason why we want to focus on this, is that if you talk about your features in your marketing, you're just going to bore your customers to death. If you talk about the benefits, they're going to get interested because that's the what's in it for me. That's what they're going to care about. But when you start talking about the meaning, then you sort of get them on a deeper level, and you're able to have much more interesting conversations that aren't product driven. They're about the underlying values or drives that people care about, and that are terrific for marketing because they're really suited to storytelling, social sharing, and cross promotion with partners or related products. So, but look, just having meaning isn't enough. We obviously need the is, the does, and the means to all work together, but that's not enough because there's some products that do all those things, but they fall down because they're lacking something. And let's take a look. Actually, it's 3 things that they can be lacking. So remember, the value of the brand is in the customer's mind, not actually in the physical details of your product or in your logo or anything like that. It's really in your customer's perception. And for the customer to perceive your brand as valuable, there needs to be 3 things present. To be valuable to your customer, your brand needs to be relevant to them. It needs to be different from alternative products, and it needs to have substance and be sort of have tangible benefits or proof associated with it. Let's take a bit more of a look at these. So with relevance, that's about it being for your customer. For example, if I'm selling cat food and you don't have a cat, then there's just no relevance at all there. So they need to be in the market for what you have. They need to care about it. It needs to be made for them. If I have a product that's some special cat food for Persian cats, and you've got a cat but it's not a Persian, it's not relevant to you. That's a really obvious example, but customers are very sensitive to the subtleties of this. They're really looking for something that's for them. The more you have created a product for a specific market or a specific type of customer, the more they're going to warm to it. Secondly, with difference, in any given product category, there's going to be other providers who are selling something very similar. And if we want to create a valuable brand, we really need our product or service to be different from the competitors. Because guess what? Otherwise, they're going to go and buy a cheaper product or service. You can't build a valuable brand if you can easily substitute your product for an alternative. And then the third one, substance, is about how trustworthy or reliable or believable or solid your product is. So that can be done by letting people touch and feel it to check the quality. In the case of products and services, having case studies or proof of past success stories, something that demonstrates, yes, this, you can believe what we're saying. Here's the proof that we can deliver what we say we can. Here's the tangible thing you're going to get. Now, these three elements of value, they feature into our conscious decision making, but also they relate to the way our brain processes information very quickly and our sort of innate response to things. So there's actually a split-second response to say, is this for me? Is it unique and interesting? And is it sort of safe and tangible and real? That goes on very quickly. And if your brand fails that test, then it won't sort of enter the category of a high value brand. It will instead be another commodity or of little interest to your customers. So a valuable brand holds these three aspects, and effectively these three elements, they support the value pyramid that we discussed earlier. So having those three pillars of relevance, difference, and substance, they actually support the is, the does, and the means. And if one of these is missing, then you can't create a valuable brand. So if you're not relevant, your customers just say, look, I don't care, I don't need it, I'm not interested, I'm not your customer. If there's no difference, the customers can say, oh, look, I love that, but the guy down the road is cheaper, or look, I'm already using someone and you seem pretty much the same. There's no reason to change. Or it's just boring. There's lots of options out there. If yours looks the same, they're not going to pay a premium for it. And then thirdly, if you don't have substance, then customers can't trust it or risk it or believe in it. So if substance is lacking, it seems unsafe or risky, and they just won't buy because they're afraid of losing out or afraid it won't deliver. So we really need all three of those, and together they support the brand value pyramid, the is, the does, and the means. And if you don't have all three, the tripod, like this is sort of like a stool or a tripod, if you don't have three, then it falls over. So by engineering our brand with these elements in mind, we can create a brand that has higher value, and you're better able to leverage this sort of brand in your marketing and increase customer demand and sell at a higher price point. So that wraps up the introduction to high value branding. Is, does, means as the value pyramid, supported by relevance, difference, and substance. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.